So guys, this Laz Jeep, you've had this for what, like about 5 years?
5 or 6.
And it's been through so many different configurations. And right now you're actually stripping everything down, going a whole different direction.
Trying to do frame off.
Yeah, pretty much, I guess so. Tell us about your plans here.
I got the LSA. I decided to go the LSA instead of the LT and the L53 and the LT4. Thing in the LSA is just, we know it so well, and it's such a good platform to start with, and more cubic inch.
Monster bottom end torque. And that's what it's going to need to be able to move this thing.
6090 trans, Tim King built. I'm going to do an Atlas. I'm looking at 14 bullets over the Super Duty axles now, and it's going to be a beast. These are 37s. We're going to go to a 43-inch tire.
Well, guys, Laz just got a big shipment in. Honestly, this is probably the biggest part of the whole Jeep build, isn't it?
Most expensive parts I've ever bought.
Most expensive parts ever bought.
Probably more expensive than anything for cars.
Yeah, I don't know. Brazilian wood. So allegedly, this is like $1,000 in
U.S. standards.
Yeah, in U.S. lumber right now. Holy crap, dude! That is big, big, beefy, big.
I gotta get this off here. DS track from Brazil. You start looking at those guys, they build some incredibly beefy stuff, and bang for the buck, it's definitely the best way to go. So these are Dana 70s.
Hell, I thought Dana 60 was like the big bad boy, and this is like, you know.
So they actually make the housing that's the size of a 60, but it's got all 70 guts in it, 70 knuckles, everything's 70 about it except the size of the pumpkin.
Dude, what is it, like 600 pounds? What is this?
1350 for both of them in the box.
Oh wow. Wow. Look at those times. Holy crap.
That's a double end ram for the hydro assist. That's typically what they'd run on full hydro, but I'm gonna try to do something a little bit tricky and use it as hydro assist. There's some Ultra 4 guys that do that. And then the rear axle, hold on. Do they send 2 front axles? What is this? Doing rear steer.
Oh, that's sick.
You got a crab walk, do all the silly stuff. Might be interested in a burnout contest.
Yeah, or dangerous.
4 piston Hilux calipers. I think they're like 14-inch rotors.
Oh my gosh, dude. It looks like that almost makes like a Super Duty look small.
That's what it's supposed to. They've got comparisons that they posted pictures of their parts next to Super Duty parts, and they do. Besides the U-joints.
Yeah, that is nuts, man. Oh my god.
Oh, I just scratched it. Yeah, scratch.
Oh,
scratch.
Ruined. Send it back. You've been trying to get this for a couple days. It was hilarious because you were all expecting, you know, Laz was literally like waiting with bated breath here. He couldn't deliver it because they had a couple roadblocks at part of the road, and it's really like you could easily come around, but it's like if you're not familiar with the area, you're like, oh, can't deliver it, the road's blocked. So Laz is all sitting here, all sad panda.
And doesn't show up.
And then you're like, oh, they can't deliver it today because they didn't have a scheduled delivery and da-da-da-da. And here it is. It came today. I have no idea how all this stuff is going to work together, but all I know is it's big and bad.
Look at this real quick. This is the factory short arm brackets off the new frame that I got. And then
Look at that.
that's what's going on it. It's easy. You just take this, you take that, and you just go over here. Stick it there, and oh, this is for this side. Done.
Yowzers. So that'll be able to allow it to articulate and move.
And all the angle it needs.
Jeez.
Barnes 4-wheel drive. All the builder parts. Got in there, made another sizable order, and cross member, all the mounting brackets, everything. I gotta get the link tubes for the front 3-link, but it's gonna be 4-link in the rear, single triangulated. Got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, this sounds like
I'm tired just talking about it.
months of work. This is from somebody that sent this in. I believe it's Hidden Motorsports, which is Klaus the Barbarian. You guys got to check out their stuff. They got a really wild BMW that's a twin turbo LS. It is 4-door. It is nasty. It's really, really fast. He ended up hurting it in a Cletus and Cars burnout competition. Oh, nice. Hell yeah. So he sent down some t-shirts, I believe. Heck yeah, dude. Oh yeah, this guy does some sick designs. Check this out here. That's the car. That thing is a bad mamma jamma. He So that they were out roll racing right before Cletus and Cars and just like tearing up everything. I think the thing made about 1,000 on the high boost level, and on low boost I think it was like 600.
Dang.
So much fun. Elite Designs get some pretty awesome stuff. I won't have to wash clothes for like a week and a half. Well, if you guys ever want to send us anything, there's a link in the description. Address is down there. Thank you guys for sending us stuff. We've got a lot of other stuff in the past.
It's a lot of boxes there,
A lot
pal.
of goodies, George.
What you got here, man?
So we got with our guys at Barnes 4Wheel Drive, and I told them, hey, I got this crazy build that I want to do. Some I'm not going to say right now, but I wanted to be able to do the 4-link in the rear, the 3-link in the front, use another brand's back half kit that narrows the frame rails. And they said, we got you. I got with Connor and worked with him on the list, and we got everything together, what we think we were going to need. A couple of option products that give me, 0 degrees here or 10 degrees there on alignment of the 4-links. But I'm gonna put this on a time lapse and unbox all this and inventory it. And unfortunately, some of the boxes got damaged, so I just want to make sure everything's here. Inventory all the stuff on the paper, make sure nothing fell out of the boxes, and it's a lot to take in. This is definitely going to be me diving into the biggest build yet I've ever done in my life. It's going to be beefy. This is pretty awesome. Barnes 4-wheel drive definitely has some great product. Everything's just like what they advertise, professionally cut out and bent and ready to go on. Front track bar, I gotta get the materials to make it. The front 3-link materials, I need the tube and the Heims joints for it. If anybody's interested in a factory JK short arm bracket set, we could work a good deal out. But that's what came off, and that's what's going back on. What's bad is I hope I can weld everything on the frame as nice as this. We definitely got the HTP welder, and it's gonna be putting in some work. Yes, locker. They make their own lockers, by the way. Aluminum cup, actually kind of look like a can. That's pretty awesome. Look like a real Brazilian. And I'll just go with some of the trucker hats. Air locker solenoids, air locker line, relay. This is all from August trip to Windrock. She's been parked since. Don't really feel like cleaning something that's broke. I think the inside's pretty good. So I'm gonna try the dry ice trick, where you crush up some dry ice, and I believe it's denatured alcohol, but I want to research that first. And you spread it on the seam sealer, and it contracts so much it pops right off the steel. The tubs are coming out. This drop down here, if the gas tank's gonna come out, the gas tank will be under there now. It's funny, you can see the damage in here from actually putting LS motors and taking to the machine shop. She's been used, definitely. That carburetor dash doing its thing. Power windows aren't working though. Got a little project on the Jeep I'm gonna try and get knocked out tonight. It's one of those things that you gotta do, that you know you gotta do, but you really don't want to cut into something. Yeah, you're cutting off stuff you paid for already. I got the PRPs in, and they are awesome looking. But I think in a factory non-cage Jeep, they might clear a little bit better. That my B pillar comes pretty far back, and then having the cross support in it, the overhead. So this guy up here, so I gotta do something with that. And then also the harness bar needs to be elevated up to the pass-through where your shoulders are to be safe. Got to get the top fitted. I got the Trek top for now, unless I have to change it, but it's going to come down on the backside. Bracketry comes off of it, it rests on the bracket, so hopefully I have room to actually take this bar and bring it out and back. Let's go ahead and get this body off of here. We're not keeping very much off this drivetrain, so maybe some body mount bushings and some really small stuff.
Well, right here we had a little camera malfunction. Laz was a little bit new to the GoPro, and he had it on time warp, but hey, we did the best we could. Old Ryan cutting up this frame here, making it so that Laz can put this new frame on the Jeep. Ryan's back overseas again. We're going to try and work on his truck when we get a chance here. Get the thing all set up before he comes back.
section sitting on the back of the old one. And my thought is, since I'm here by myself, is I can just roll that straight forward, be able to lower the body down on it, line it up, and get those bolts in. And it gives me enough room to access the body mounts, front, center, and rear, just adapting. Got the frame rail up in position. I'd accidentally grabbed the rear cross member bolts that were a little bit larger, so I had a bit of a minute getting them lined up. They'd line up, but they weren't the right size. Clean slate to work from, and that's the end of the frame. And there's the wheel well. So all this back here is gonna be moto built. I'm gonna get that laid out so I can actually see what we got to work with. Definitely excited. The moto built back half kit has you cut the frame down in this position, right at that sleeve. And you can see we've got provisions here for the new body mount to go. So that's gonna line up with the existing body mount. The body mount's gonna go there. That's gonna position that section of the frame rail under the Jeep body accordingly. And this is where the fun begins. It's moving the frame rail in 5 inches on each side. And they've made this so you can inboard the shocks a little bit more and get more room for articulation. Now, when I was thinking about that, I was like, that's awesome. Gives me more room there, but it opens up more room for activities. So I want to see if I can make it work with 4-wheel steer and actually be able to use, you know, this section of the frame as clearance for the tires to turn. The rear cross member ties in the rear body mounts. That goes onto the back half section. You know, I'm not a professional building Jeeps, but we learn as we go. Check out the instructions on this. Moto Built, they've got everything laid out from where to cut it, which we already did. Cross member was just put in. The rear set in, and this is where the first welds are going to happen, is aligning it on the edges and then welding it on the back. The center bolt will be loose. The other frame section over there, and actually let it pull up a little bit on it. Have these on. I can't wait to get the back halves attached. So they actually do want you to square it up. I want to make sure that this is centered in the chassis, get them fully welded around the perimeter of that. And then we can put the back bumper on, which is just, it's their product too. It comes with the back half kit. And I might just go ahead and throw the front bumper on too, because I've been dying to. I really want to see what it looks like. We're going to put in the cross member today, try and take care of some of the low-hanging fruit. I want to shout out to Barnes 4-wheel drive. They have made one seriously beefy cross member. Thing bolts right in the factory location, and this will be set in the front of the Jeep up for 3-link. Frame side bracket for the upper link. See what's next. Barnes 4-wheel drives. Heat treated chromoly 1.25" by 12 long shank for a 1-inch hole spacer going through. We have the 1 5/8" misalignment spacers that are going to allow this to slide right in the cross member. This is going to make up the lower links for the front 3-link. These are the same links we're going to use all the way around the Jeep. This is going to be more of a trail rig than anything. So there's no need to worry about running Johnny joints or anything softer. We just want the strongest. Barnes 4-wheel drive has what you need when it comes to that. I located my Barnes upper control arm 3-link bracket, and it has a round hole and elongated hole that actually match up with the holes in the frame here. So you just put this on here, slide up to these holes. We're gonna line up the bottom,
where they align. I'm going to temporarily clamp this in place. I've already cut off the factory bracket that was in this location, but now I need to mark where this one is, grind off all the paint to get a good solid weld on that, and then we'll burn that in place. Once that's in place, there is the back side of the bracket that keys in. There's a hole on the inside. We're going to install this loosely in here. We'll tack weld this and then make sure that we tack weld all the corners so that it doesn't pull tight when you weld it, and then you can't just pull this in and out when you need to service it. I shouldn't be showing this yet, but like any proud parent, I want to see what she's going to look like. Oh, so beefy. I think it's a beast. I'd like a little bit lower ride height. Time we get a gearbox and a track bar and a drag link. Our space between here, fairly tight. I do need to bring the pinion angle up some, and that'll drop this down a little bit, but not that much. Oh, this thing's gonna be a beast. Cannot wait. I'd like to get the axle a little bit further forward too. It's definitely gonna have some clearance issues there. Yeah, super excited. It's fun to get this finally put together.
Well, Laz has definitely been putting in daily work, had some help, knocked out a bunch of stuff, and dude, the way that this thing sits right now, it is so hard to soak in that it like honestly doesn't even look real. It looks like an RC car.
It's got
Start with half a frame.
Yeah, just got the fuel tank in there mocked up just to get clearance for the rear axle, so we can start to look at turning this and how much room we're gonna end up having, what's gonna have to be trimmed out. We did a little bit of floorboard work on the inside, but it was basically stripping the Jeep down to get the bare bones to start to build it back up.
I mean, there's like nothing that's really Jeep anymore except for the body.
Yeah, and the dash.
And the grill.
Just the littlest things. Like, I gotta lower the seat a little bit because it's too high for me. Like, just so much little stuff that's gonna take tons of time.
Yeah. I mean, dude, all the brackets and stuff that you got, it's not only, okay, you got to weld it, you got to put it in the right spots. You better make sure that everything, there's just so much detail work that
everything on, cycle the suspension. I mean, I had to go out, I had to find a forklift so I can just be able to move stuff around.
Yeah, dude, I never thought I'd see you buying a forklift so that you could do something like that. Oh, well, the forklift doesn't even run yet.
Actually, it's getting fixed right now.
Is it really? Oh, cool. Steering both tires at the same time is going to be pretty sick. Yeah. I've only been around that type of thing a few times, and it's wild. Like,
it's going to be a whole different beast to take off-road.
It's like you're building one of the ultimate things in order to be able to do, how would you define it? Is I guess what I'm
I don't know. I mean, they have a 4500 series class for like Racing King the Hammers, and some of the stuff's structured around that, but some of it's just out of the league for that too. I mean, it's going to be too much power, too big of tires and stuff they won't let you do in that class, but have the capabilities of doing what those guys are doing.
Okay.
But I want to be able to kind of not competitively race it, but racing around, doing the rock crawling, and just driving on the road and playing.
Pretty much you can do anything. Yeah. You just want to be able to say, I can do it all.
Not to have to question somebody when they say, follow me.
Okay. This is going to be a pretty wild build to follow.
And hopefully have it done by Thanksgiving.
Daily work.
That's a tight time frame for something with this much work.
Well, you can do it, man. I believe you can do it. Guys, I'm so proud of Laz. I can't believe he did almost a whole episode by himself. Laz has come a long way. He used to be the shy, grumpy guy on camera. Still grumpy, but this is going to be an absolutely awesome build. I can't wait to go out and actually try some of the stuff that he's talking about doing. It is going to be wild. This thing is going to be a ripper. Probably like 7,500 pounds. Engine should at least make somewhere about 850 horsepower. This is going to be a sick build. Follow along. If you guys got any Jeep buddies, please tag them. Send this their way. Guys, we're so close to about 400,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so very much for what you do. Please check out our store. It definitely helps us grow. Allows us to be able to spend a little bit more time on our projects. It's been really tough kind of juggling all the work that we have, but thank you guys for being there. We so appreciate you guys. You fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So look at the bigger picture, fellas. Thank you guys so much. Patriots, stay strong. God bless you guys. We will see you next episode.
Norman, come.